All right, y'all, welcome back. Let's get straight into it. So boom, Emanny is the one who said that about you. And the tone he came with? Yeah, it was a little extra, but hold up. You literally just admitted you're the antics guy. So how are you getting mad when somebody else plays that same game? It's obvious Emanny is trying to build his brand. If that means using you, Usher, and other R&B names to do it, then so be it. Now, yeah, you probably shouldn't come on the show with that much energy toward my guy, but at the same time, we gotta take some accountability too. Because let's be real, this turned into one of the best episodes. No exaggeration, this was a classic Patreon moment. And y'all know me, I don't even like guests like that. I've said it before, I usually hate guest appearances. But listen to this, the second I saw the tension building, I couldn't even click on Patreon fast enough. Twitter was already going crazy and I'm like, wait, what happened? Then boom, it kicks off within the first 10 minutes. Who are you? That's how it started. And let's be honest, there were multiple moments where Tyrese Gibson looked a little off. But we gotta start right here. How do you DM the man before the show, telling him to pull up and then sit in front of him acting like you don't know who he is? Make that make sense. So you don't know me, but you knew enough to find me. You knew enough to see what I said on the Joe Budden podcast. You knew enough to search my name and message me directly, just to get on camera and act clueless? Nah, that's calculated. And then on top of that, he starts plugging his Patreon. Of course he's gonna promote it, that's the play. They tried to clown him saying his Patreon didn't exist, but I checked, it's actually there. Then I'm like, where's the content? Where are the members at? See, this is where some celebrities get it twisted. They think having a big fan base means people will follow everything they do, and eventually, reality hits differently. There's a reason you see A-list actors take certain roles that clearly don't get the same effort or attention. And guess what? They don't get the same hype either. They don't perform the same at the box office. When those same celebrities step into the independent creator space, it's a different game. Now they actually have to produce content people care about, content that keeps people coming back again and again. And a lot of times, they struggle with that. Then they sit there confused, wondering why the audience isn't locked in. We don't want the polished behind-the-scenes documentary. We want that same raw, unpredictable energy you brought on Joe's show. You were calling them out for antics, right? But then you go to your own platform and play it safe again, back to that industry-style content. Now, shifting gears, he had a lot of energy for Emanny, but credit where it's due, Emanny stood tall. And we all know Emanny can be hot-headed.
But this time, he was asking for respect. You can tell he's trying to move differently after that case, like, I'm not getting caught up in nonsense anymore. He's standing on his principles as a man, defending himself without switching up his stance, and then moving forward. But one thing is for sure, he's not letting anyone just talk down on him. And shout out to Joe and Mark too. Even though Mark was pushing it a little with those slick comments, when it came to Tyrese pressing Emanny, they stepped in. They weren't letting that slide. And usually when you defend your guy like that, it's because the other person sees you as an equal. So Mark jumping in like that, it could mean a few things. Either he saw it as peer-to-peer tension, or he was just standing up for Emanny, plain and simple. Either way, respect to Emanny. He held his ground, and most importantly, he didn't fold. But that doesn't give you a pass to disrespect me as an artist or as a man. And now with Emanny, I'm starting to see why he got that Potter of the Month buzz, especially coming off what Adam22 said, almost the same critique, talking about 3,500 monthly Spotify listeners, like that defines his whole career. Meanwhile, he's saying I'm Grammy nominated. And it's funny how we lean so heavily on numbers and stats until it's time to apply that same logic to ourselves. Everybody is quick to highlight Emanny's numbers, but if Emanny flipped it and talked about Tyrese Gibson's Patreon not doing numbers, now suddenly he'd be labeled sensitive. So nah, I'm giving Emanny his respect here, and I'm giving Joe and Mark credit too for backing their guy. And shout out to Joe for even letting Tyrese come up there and talk. He already knows how the algorithm is gonna eat this up. He knows it's gonna ripple through the whole community, but still, he gave Tyrese the space to get his point off. Because let's be real, the way Tyrese was cutting people off, including Mark, I'll get to that, Joe could have easily shut that down, but he read the room. He saw that Tyrese was a little sensitive at that moment, and he let him rock. Now I hope the rest of the crew was paying attention to how Tyrese handled Mark, because there's something to learn there, but realistically, they probably won't apply it moving forward.
Because Mark has fully stepped into that producer mindset now. He's taking that role seriously, doing everything he can to control the flow and get his voice heard.
But when Tyrese started shutting him down, yeah, Mark didn't quite know how to respond. Especially when Tyrese kept saying this is a battle, you know that, right? Then it escalated. Take your glasses off when you talk to me. Hold up, that energy shifted quickly. And I'll give Mark credit, he didn't fold, but he definitely got quieter. And the moment Tyrese said he couldn't see him, Mark took those glasses off. So let's be honest, the same way Mark is checking people, he needs that same energy back sometimes, because everybody else is tiptoeing around him, praising him, calling him cool, all that, but missing the slick shots he throws. Tyrese, for all the talk about him being sensitive, he picked up on it instantly. Like, I don't know who you are, but you're not talking to me like that. And did y'all notice? Nobody jumped in to defend Mark. If this is the kind of energy they're bringing to the JBP, they're going to end up pushing themselves right out of there. They're going to be out of there. And at this point, listen, I don't really care that they're boosting everyone's careers coming on the show if this is the type of content we're getting, because Tyrese is about to get a serious boost. He's about to get a boost. At the time of recording this video, he had 22 members on Patreon. I wouldn't be surprised that by the end of the day, he hits 100 members. And it sounds like nothing, but until you actually start creating content you expect people to pay for without any push, you quickly realize how important going from 22 to 100 paying members really is. Thanks for reading. Make sure you subscribe to my channel.